Ballspielverein Borussia 09e. V Dortmund, commonly known as Borussia Dortmund, BOESHSIIAEDETMESHNT, Dortmund, or BVB, is a German sports club based in Dortmund, North Rhine-Westphalia. The football team is part of a large membership-based sports club with 100,000 members, making BVB the third largest sports club by membership in Germany. Dortmund plays in the Bundesliga, the top tier of the German football league system. Dortmund is one of the most successful clubs in German football history. Borussia Dortmund was founded in 1909 by 17 football players from Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have won 8 German football championships, 3 DFB-Pokals, 4 DFL-Supercups, 1 UEFA Champions League, 1 UEFA Cup Winners Cup, and 1 Intercontinental Cup. Their Cup Winners Cup win in 1966 made them the first German club to win a European title. Since 1974, Dortmund have played their home games at Westfalenstadion. The stadium is the biggest stadium in Germany. Dortmund is the highest average attendance of any football club in the world. Borussia Dortmund's colours are black and yellow, giving the club its nickname Die Schwarz-Gelben. Dortmund holds a long-standing rivalry with Ruhr neighbours Schalke, known as the Revier Derby. Dortmund also has a rivalry with Bayern Munich. In terms of Deloitte's annual football money league, Dortmund is the second biggest sports club in Germany and the 11th biggest football team in the world. Borussia Dortmund's motto is Ek Liebe. History, foundation and early years. The club was founded on December 19, 1909 by a group of young men unhappy with church-sponsored Trinity Youth, where they played football under the stern and unsympathetic eye of the local parish priest. Dwalt was blocked at the door when he tried to break up the organizing meeting being held in a room of the local pub, Zum Wilder 1/4 TZ. The founders were Franz and Paul Braun, Henry Cleve, Hans Debest, Paul Zinsel, Julius and Wilhelm Jacobi, Hans Kahn, Gustav Mahr 1/4 Lehr, Franz Friss, Fritz Schult, Hans Siebold, August Tar Paragrafensmann, Heinrich and Robert Unger, Fritz Weber and Franz Wendt. The name Borussia is Latin for Prussia but was taken from the Borussia beer from the nearby Borussia brewery in Dortmund. The team began playing in blue and white striped shirts with a red sash, and black shorts. In 1913, they donned the black and yellow stripes so familiar today. Over the next decades the club enjoyed only modest success playing in local leagues. They had a brush with bankruptcy in 1929 when an attempt to boost the club's fortunes by signing some paid professional footballers failed miserably and left the team deep in debt. They survived only through the generosity of a local supporter who covered the team's shortfall out of his own pocket. The 1930s saw the rise of the Third Reich, which restructured sports and football organizations throughout the nation to suit the regime's goals. Borussia's president was replaced when he refused to join the Nazi Party, and a couple of members who surreptitiously used the club's offices to produce anti-Nazi pamphlets were executed in the last days of the war. The club did have greater success in the newly established Gauliga Westfalen, but would have to wait until after World War II to make a breakthrough. It was during this time that Borussia developed its intense rivalry with FC Schalke 04 of suburban Gelsenkirchen, the most successful side of the era. Like every other organization in Germany, Borussia was dissolved by the Allied occupation authorities after the war in an attempt to distance the country's institutions from the so-recent Nazi past. There was a short-lived attempt to merge the club with Tuatherse Euro Worksportgemeinschaft Tuischen Freie Sportverein 98 Euro as Sportgemeinschaft Borussia von 1898, but it was as Ballspielverein Borussia that they made their first appearance in the National League final in 1949 where they lost 2-3 to VfR Mannheim. First national titles, between 1946 and 1963, Borussia featured in the Oberliga West, a first-division league which dominated German football through the late 1950s. In 1949, Borussia reached the final in Stuttgart against VfR Mannheim, which they lost 2-3 after extra time. The club claimed its first national title in 1956 with a 4-2 win against Karlsruhe SC. 1 year later, Borussia defeated Hamburger SV 4-1 to win their second national title. After this coup, the three Alfredos were legends in Dortmund. In 1963, Borussia won the last edition of the German Football Championship before the introduction of the new Bundesliga to secure their third national title. Entry to the Bundesliga. In 1962, the DFB met in Dortmund and voted to finally establish a professional football league in Germany to begin play in August 1963 as the Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund earned its place among the first 16 clubs to play in the new league by winning the last pre-Bundesliga national championship. Losing Club 1. FC Karl Ln also earned an automatic berth. It was Dortmund's Friedhelm Konietzka who scored the first ever Bundesliga goal barely a minute into a match which they would eventually lose to €3 to Werder Bremen. In 1965, Dortmund captured its first DFB-Pokal. In 1966, Dortmund won the European Cup Winners Cup 2-1 against Liverpool in extra time with the goals coming from Siegfried Held and Reinhard Leibuda. In the same year, however, the team surrendered a commanding position atop the Bundesliga by losing 4 of their last 5 league games and finished second, 3 points behind champions TSV 1860 Ma 1/4 NCHEN. Ironically, much of 1860's success came on the strength of the play of Konietzka, recently transferred there from Dortmund. The 1970s were characterized by financial problems and relegation from the Bundesliga in 1972 and the opening of the Westfalenstadion, named after its home region Westphalia in 1974. The club earned its return to Bundesliga in 1976. Dortmund continued to suffer from financial problems through the 1980s. BVB narrowly avoided being relegated again in 1986 by winning a third decisive playoff game against Fortuna Ln after finishing the regular season in 16th place. Dortmund did not enjoy any significant success again until a 4-1 DFB-Pokal win in 1989 against SV Werder Bremen. It was Horst Karl Ppel's first trophy as a manager. Dortmund then won the 1989 DFL-Supercup for €3 against rivals Bayern Munich. Golden Agia the 1990s, after a 10th place finish in the Bundesliga in 1991, manager Horst Karl Ppel was let go and manager Ottmar Hitzfeld was hired. In 1992, Hitzfeld led Borussia Dortmund to a second-place finish in the Bundesliga and could have won the title had VfB Stuttgart not won their last game to become champions instead. Along with a fourth-place finish in the Bundesliga, Dortmund in 1993 made it to the UEFA Cup final, which they lost 6-1 on aggregate to Juventus. In spite of this result, Borussia walked away with $25 million under the prize money pool system in place at the time for German sides participating in the Cup. Cash flush, Dortmund was able to sign players who later brought them numerous honors in the 1990s. Under the captaincy of 1996 European Footballer of the Year Matthias Sammer, Borussia Dortmund won back-to-back Bundesliga titles in 1995 and 1996. Dortmund also won the DFL-Supercup against Mönchengladbach in 1995 and Kaiserslautern in 1996. In 1996 Euro 97 the team reached its first European Cup final. In a memorable 1997 UEFA Champions League final at the Olympiastadion in Munich, Dortmund faced the holders Juventus. Karl-Heinz Riedel put Dortmund ahead, shooting under goalkeeper Angelo Peruzzi from a cross by Paul Lambert. Riedel then made it 2 with a bullet header from a corner kick. In the second half, Alessandro Del Piero pulled one back for Juventus with a back heel. Then 20-year-old substitute and local boy Lars Ricken latched onto a through pass by Andreas Lair. Only 16 seconds after coming onto the pitch, Ricken chipped Peruzzi in the Juventus goal from over 20 yards out with his first touch of the ball. With Zinedine Zidane unable to make an impression for Juventus against the close marking of Lambert, Dortmund lifted the trophy with a 3-1 victory. Dortmund then went on to beat Brazilian club Cruzeiro 2-0 in the 1997 Intercontinental Cup final to become World Club champions. Borussia Dortmund were the second German club to win the Intercontinental Cup, after Bayern Munich in 1976. 21st Century and Borussia goes public. At the turn of the millennium, Borussia Dortmund became the first Euro, and so far the only Euro publicly traded club on the German stock market. In 2002, Borussia Dortmund won their third Bundesliga title. Dortmund had a remarkable run at the end of the season to overtake Bayer Leverkusen, securing the title on the final day. Manager Matthias Sammer became the first person in Borussia Dortmund history to win the Bundesliga as a player and manager. In the same season, Borussia lost the final of the 2001 Euro 02 UEFA Cup to Dutch side Feyenoord. Dortmund's fortunes then steadily declined for a number of years. Poor financial management led to a heavy debt load and the sale of their Westfalenstadion ground. The situation was compounded by failure to advance in the 2003 Euro 04 UEFA Champions League when the team was eliminated on penalties in the qualifying rounds by Club Brugge. In 2003, Bayern Munich loaned $2 million to Dortmund for a couple of months to pay their payroll. Borussia was again driven to the brink of bankruptcy in 2005, the original 11 value of its shares having plummeted by over 80% on the Frankfurter Attribution paragraph RSE. The response to the crisis included a 20% pay cut to all players. The team still plays at Westfalenstadion, named after its home region of Westphalia. To reduce debts, the stadium was renamed Signal Iduna Park, after a local insurance company, in 2006 under a sponsorship agreement that runs until 2016. The stadium is currently the largest football stadium in Germany with a capacity of 80,720 spectators, and hosted several matches in the 2006 FIFA World Cup, including a semi-final. Borussia Dortmund enjoys the highest average attendance of any football club in Europe, at 80,478 per match. Dortmund suffered a miserable start to the 2005 Euro 06 season, but rallied to finish 7th. The club failed to gain a place in the UEFA Cup via the fair play draw. The club's management recently indicated that the club again showed a profit. This was largely related to the sale of David Odonkor to Real Betis and Tomaso Rosica 1/2 to Arsenal. In the 2006 Euro 07 season, Dortmund unexpectedly faced serious relegation trouble for the first time in years. Dortmund went through 3 coaches and appointed Thomas Doll on March 13, 2007 after dropping to just 1 point above the relegation zone. Christoph Metzelder also left Borussia Dortmund on a free transfer. In the 2007 Euro 08 season, Dortmund lost to many of the smaller clubs in the Bundesliga. That season was one of the worst in 20 years. Nevertheless, Dortmund reached a DFB-Pokal final against Bayern Munich, where they lost to Euro 1 in extra time. The final appearance qualified Dortmund for the UEFA Cup because Bayern already qualified for the Champions League. Thomas Doll resigned on May 19, 2008 and was replaced by Jarwan Quarter-Klopp. Return to prominence. In the 2009 Euro 10 season, Dortmund qualified for the UEFA Europa League and finished 5th in the Bundesliga. The team missed an opportunity to qualify for the Champions League by failing to beat 8th-placed VfL Wolfsburg and 14th-placed SC Freiburg in the final 2 matches of the campaign. Nonetheless, they demonstrated a renewed charisma and passion under the direction of coach Jarwan Quarter-Klopp. Entering the 2010 Euro 11 season, Dortmund fielded a young and vibrant roster which looked better. On December 4, 2010, Borussia became Herbstmeister, an unofficial accolade going to the league leader at the winter break. They did this 3 matches before the break, sharing the record for having achieved this earliest with Eintracht Frankfurt and 1. FC Kaiserslautern. On April 30, 2011, the club beat 1. FC Nuremberg to Euro 0 at home, while second-placed Bayer Leverkusen lost, leaving Dortmund 8 points clear with 2 games to play. This championship equaled the 7 national titles held by rivals Schalke 04, and guaranteed a spot in the 2011 Euro 12 UEFA Champions League group stages. 1 year later, Dortmund made a successful defense of its Bundesliga title with a win over Borussia Mönchengladbach, again on the 32nd match day. By the 34th and final match day, Dortmund set a new record with the most points €81 ever gained by a club in one Bundesliga season. The club's 8th championship places it third in total national titles, and players will now wear 2 stars over their uniform crest in recognition of the team's 5 Bundesliga titles. Notable names from the winning roster include Lucas Barrios, Mario Gar-Paragrafser, Neven Subotia, Mats Hummels, Robert Lewandowski, Shinji Kagawa, Angstrom Erkas-Piszczuk, Jakub Borskakowski, Kevin Grohl-Kreutz, Ivan Pereira, and a degree Lkay Garwan Kortendoyen. The club capped its successful 2011 Euro 12 season by winning the double for the first time by beating Bayern Munich 5 Euro 2 in the final of the DFB-Pokal. Borussia Dortmund are one of 4 German clubs to win the Bundesliga and DFB-Pokal double along with Bayern Munich, 1. FC K Paragraph LN, and Werder Bremen. The club was voted Team of the Year 2011 at the annual Sportler des Jahres Awards. Borussia Dortmund ended the 2012 Euro 13 season in second place in the Bundesliga. Dortmund played in their second UEFA Champions League final against Bayern Munich in the first ever all-German club final at Wembley Stadium on May 25, 2013, which they lost to Euro 1. In the 2013 Euro 14 season, Borussia Dortmund won the 2013 DFL-Supercup for Euro 2 against rivals Bayern Munich. The 2013-14 season started with a 5-game winning streak for Dortmund, their best start to a season. Despite such a promising start, however, their season was hampered by injuries to several key players, which saw them stoop as low as 4th place in the table, and with a depleted squad could only go as far as the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League, losing 3-2 on aggregate to Real Madrid. Nevertheless, Dortmund managed to end their season on a high by finishing second in the Bundesliga and reaching the DFB-Pokal final, losing 0-2 to Bayern Munich in extra time. Crest. Grounds. The Westfalenstadion is the home stadium of Borussia Dortmund. It is Germany's biggest stadium and the 7th biggest stadium in Europe. The stadium is officially named Signal Iduna Park. The insurance company Signal Iduna purchased the rights to name the stadium until 2021. However, this name cannot be used when hosting FIFA and UEFA events, since these governing bodies have policies forbidding corporate sponsorship from companies that are not official tournament partners. During the 2006 FIFA World Cup, the stadium was referred to as FIFA World Cup Stadium, Dortmund. In UEFA club matches, it is known as BVB Stadion Dortmund. The stadium now hosts up to 80,645 fans for league matches, and 65,829 seated spectators for international games. For these, the characteristic southern grandstand is re-equipped with seats to conform with FIFA regulations. In 1974, the Westfalenstadion replaced the Stadion Rotherd, which is located next door and serves now as the stadium of Borussia Dortmund II. After the increasing popularity of Borussia Dortmund in the 1960s, it became obvious that the traditional ground was too small for the increasing number of Borussia Dortmund supporters. The city of Dortmund, however, was not able to finance a new stadium and federal institutions were unwilling to help. But in 1971, Dortmund was selected to replace the city of Cologne, which was forced to withdraw its plans to host games in the 1974 FIFA World Cup. The funds originally set aside for the projected stadium in Cologne were thus reallocated to Dortmund and a new stadium became a reality. The Westfalenstadion has undergone several renovations throughout the years to increase the size of the stadium, including an expansion of the stadium for the 2006 World Cup. In 2008, the Borussium, a museum about Borussia Dortmund, opened in the stadium. In 2011, Borussia Dortmund agreed a partnership with Q-Cells. The company installed 8,768 solar cells on the roof of the Westfalenstadion to generate up to 860,000 kWh per year. Borussia Dortmund is the highest average attendance of any football club worldwide. Training ground. Borussia Dortmund's training ground and academy base Hohenbuschel is located in Brackel, a district of Dortmund inside the complex system, There are physical exercise training for physical fitness and rehabilitation robotics areas, physiotherapy and massage rooms, and remedial and hydrotherapy pools. There are also sauna rooms, steam rooms and weight rooms, classrooms, conference halls, offices for the BVB front office, a restaurant, and a TV studio to interview the BVB professional footballers and coaching staff for BVB Total. On the grounds, there are 5 grass pitches, 2 of which has under-soil heating, 1 artificial grass field, 2 small grass pitches and a multifunctional sports arena. The site covers a total area of 18.000 miles squared. Besides, Dortmund owns the Footbonaut, a training robot which is effectively a 14-mile squared training cage. Organization and finance, Borussia Dortmund e.V. is represented by its management board and board of directors consisting of the president Dr. Reinhard Robal, his proxy and vice president Gerd Pieper and the treasurer Dr. Reinhold Luno. Professional football at Dortmund is run by the organization Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH. This corporation model has 2 types of participators, at least one partner with unlimited liability and at least one partner with limited liability. The investment of the latter is divided into stocks. The organization Borussia Dortmund GmbH is the partner with unlimited liability and is responsible for the management and representation of Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH. Borussia Dortmund GmbH is fully owned by the sports club, Borussia Dortmund e.V. This organizational structure was designed to ensure that the sports club has full control over the professional squad. The stocks of Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH was floated on the stock markets in October 2000 and it is listed in the General Standard of Deutsche Bar paragraph RSEAG. Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH became the first and so far the only publicly traded sports club on the German stock market. 7.24% of Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH is owned by the sports club. The Borussia Dortmund e.V. 11.71% by Bungesk and 81.05% are widely spread shareholdings. Hans-Joachim Witzke is the CEO and Thomas Trey is the CFO of the GmbH & Company. GmbH. Michael Zorc as sporting director is responsible for the first team, the coaching staff, the youth and junior section, and scouting. The supervisory board consists among others of the politicians Friedrich Merz and Pierre Steinbrück 1/4 CK. BVB's main advertising partner and current holder of the kit rights is Evonik. The insurance company Signal Iduna purchased the rights to name the Westfalenstadion Signal Iduna Park until 2021. The main supplier of the sports club is Puma SE. In addition, there are 3 different levels of partners. BVB CHAMPION partner include among others Opel, Turkish Airlines, Brinkhoffs, Willow, Hankook and Howe. Partner include among others EA Sports, Coca-Cola Zero, MAN, Norton, REWE and Rohner Crichton. And BVB PRODUKT partner include among others Westfalen Holland, Sennheiser, Teddy, Dormer, Ramada and McDonald's. Since 2012, Brigzental and the Kitzbühel 1/4 Hell Alps in Austria is a BVB sponsor as well. Furthermore, the region is host of one of the annual summer training camps. Borussia Dortmund e.V. and Borussia Dortmund GmbH & Company. GmbH economic indicators reveal that BVB generating revenues of $305.1 million from September 2012 to August 2013. According to the 2014 Deloitte's annual Football Money League, BVB generated revenues of $256.2 million during the 2012-13 season. The figure excludes player transfer fees, VAT and other sales-related taxes. Current management and board, as of July 1, 2013. Charity. Borussia Dortmund has raised money for charity over the years for various causes. On May 17, 2011, Borussia Dortmund held a charity game for the 2011 Japan earthquake and tsunami against Team Japan. The ticket sales of the game and a $1 million from Dortmund's main sponsor Evonik went to charity for the Japan earthquake and tsunami. In November 2012, Borussia Dortmund GmbH founded a charitable trust called Leuchtstoff, to give important social projects financial help. The trust's logo is a star, consisting of the streets which meet at Dortmund's Besitzplatz, where the club was founded. On July 6, 2013, Borussia Dortmund held a charity game to raise money for 2013 German flood victims in the German states of Saxony and Saxony-Anhalt. Shirt sponsors and kit manufacturers, A1, as a result of restructuring, the RAG business areas of chemicals, energy and real estate were transferred to a new business entity, but the company name was still unknown at that time. Placeholder in 2005 a Euro 2006 was an artwork of an exclamation mark of the painter Ottmar Alt. First team squad, as of July 1, 2014, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. On loan, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. For recent transfers, see List of German football transfers Winter 2013 a Euro 14 and List of German football transfers Summer 2014, club officials, current staff. As of July 1, 2013, head coaches. In July 1935 Fritz Thelen became the club's first full-time head coach. But Thelen wasn't available in the first months of the season, so that Borussia Dortmund player and Germany international Ernst Kusora take over for the first time of the season instead. In 1966, Willi Multhorpe leading his side to clinch the European Cup Winners Cup and Dortmund became the first German team to win a European trophy. Horst Karl ppel was the coach to bring major silverware to the club for the first time after over 20 years, winning the DFB-Pokal in 1989. Ottmar Hitzfeld was the club's most successful coach, having won the Bundesliga and the Super Cup each twice. In 1997, Dortmund had to wait for continental success for over 30 years. Hitzfeld crowned his period with an unexpected triumph and won the Champions League. Dortmund won the Intercontinental Cup in 1997 and head coach Nvio Scala became the first and so far the only non-native speaker who won a major title. In 2001 a Euro 02, Matthias Sammer, a former BVB player, brought the league title back to Dortmund. In 2008 a Euro 09, the club approached 1. FSV Mainz 05 head coach Jarwan Quarter Klopp. He won the club's 7th championship title in the 2010 a Euro 11 season. In his 4th season, Dortmund won the Bundesliga and the DFB-Pokal to complete the first league and cup double in the club's history. Served as caretaker coach. Records. Borussia Dortmund's name is attached to a number of Bundesliga records. The Borussia Dortmund player with the most appearances is Michael Zorc. The Borussia Dortmund player with the most goals is Alfred Preußler. The youngest player to play was Nuri Angstrom of Borussia Dortmund. The youngest player to score was Nuri Angstrom of Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund was on the receiving end of the worst loss ever in a Bundesliga match when they lost 12 a Euro 0 away to Borussia Mönchengladbach on April 29, 1978. On September 1, 1993, BVB and Dynamo Dresden earned a total of 5 red cards between them. BVB and Bayern Munich were carded a record of 15 times in a match played on April 7, 2001. The most penalties in a match is 5 in a game played between Borussia Mönchengladbach and Dortmund on November 9, 1965. The first goal ever scored in Bundesliga play was by Dortmund's Friedhelm Konietzka against Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen won 3 a Euro 2. Honours, domestic. Fußball Bundesliga German Championship, winners, 1955 a Euro 56, 1956 a Euro 57, 1962 a Euro 63, 1994 a Euro 95, 1995 a Euro 96, 2001 a Euro 02, 2010 a Euro 11, 2011 a Euro 12, runners-up, 1948 a Euro 49, 1960 a Euro 61, 1965 Euro 66, 1991 Euro 92, 2012 Euro 13, 2013 Euro 14, DFB-Pokal German Cup winners, 1964 Euro 65, 1988 Euro 89, 2011 Euro 12, runners-up, 1962 Euro 63, 2007 Euro 08, 2013 Euro 14, DFB Supercup DFL-Supercup, winners, 1989, 1995, 1996, 2013, runners-up, 2011, 2012, DFB Ligapokal German League Cup, runners-up, 2003, Oberliga West German Championship, winners, 1947 Euro 48, 1948 Euro 49, 1949 Euro 50, 1952 Euro 53, 1955 Euro 56, 1956 Euro 57, runners-up, 1960 Euro 61, 1962 Euro 63, Westphalia Cup West German Cup, winners, 1947, European, UEFA Champions League, winners, 1996 Euro 97, runners-up, 2012 Euro 13, UEFA Cup Winners Cup, winners, 1965 Euro 66, UEFA Cup UEFA Europa League, runners-up, 1992 Euro 93, 2001 Euro 02, UEFA Super Cup, runners-up, 1997, Worldwide, Intercontinental Cup, winners, 1997, see also. List of Borussia Dortmund seasons, references. External links, official website, Borussia Dortmund on Bundesliga official website, Borussia Dortmund on UEFA official website.